Hi, good morning. I now got Dominic O'Brien from Experienced Energy Solutions.
That's me.
How do we meet?
How did we meet? Good question. So I put an outcry on LinkedIn a couple of months ago, asking for any reputable water partners out there. And obviously I was absolutely bombarded with, good 10, 15 people, which is, good people coming back wanting to do business. But a couple of people that I've got relationships with put some names in the comments, and you come up and two others. So I decided to speak to three people, and you sold me the dream. So here I am.
That's fantastic. Well, thanks so much for coming to see us. It's great to finally meet.
Yeah, we had a lot of phone calls, haven't we?
Had a lot of phone calls, yeah, discussing what we can do together in the marketplace. Just tell me a bit about your business and what your plans are, really.
Yeah, so my background, if you like, or my story, I worked for a large energy Big Six corporate business for 11 years, and got my experience, and from there, I guess. And off the back of that, I set up my own energy consultancy. Absolute saturated market, you could say. Why have you left
I was going to ask you that, because
there
must be a few hundred.
Yeah, well, there's a lot more than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess my background in what I did within that supplier, I worked right across SME, sales jobs, new business renewals, moved into the commercial space, again, new business renewals teams, change of ownership teams, new connections, site works. And then I moved into the corporate space, working with some of the largest energy users in the UK. And helping them understand energy journeys, drive down consumption, etc., as well as getting a good procurement deal. That gave me access to the whole market, all those different sales jobs. So I've experienced working within those areas. So I purposely moved through the organisation because always my goal at the end of it was to, work for myself and run my own consultancy. So I wanted to experience the different customer objections, if you like, in different channels, so I could deal with it when I have my own consultancy. But yeah, it is an absolute saturated market. Why would you set up? And I think a big part of why I've set this up, there's so much lack of transparency in the consultant market.
They haven't got a very good sort of reputation. I saw guy on LinkedIn yesterday, and he was slating, well, he just called them brokers, really, energy brokers, and they don't do this, they don't do that, not transparent, not independent, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And kind of like, I looked at his profile, and I wanted to bring this up, but I looked at his profile, and what fired me up is that someone's coming from a company called UtilityWise. The guy worked for UtilityWise for a staggering 10 years as a team leader, sales manager, running 80 salespeople. And UtilityWise were the ones that got caught with the fingers in the till. And this guy's setting up a claim company where he's going to claim excess charges from brokers. It's kind of like, yeah, I find it.
Yeah, it's a difficult point, I suppose.
How do you deal with that? I mean, I get quite fired up about it because you're slating the whole industry, and there's a lot of good people out there.
Definitely.
I've met you. I know what you do.
Yeah.
I've met others. I know what they do.
Yeah.
They're working hard to create, a good businesses.
Definitely.
And there's some good businesses out there.
Yeah, totally agree. And I've had access to them. And I think to put some clarity on my point, in my final years at the supplier I worked for, I worked with 80 brokers I had on my books.
Right.
I had relationships with. So,
yeah.
A huge majority of them are really good consultancies that I'd mentioned. So I'm not here to point fingers at anyone at all or put stains on any brokers. But I think the lack of transparency that's in the market, there's certainly room for more transparency, ethical way of helping customers and still making money.
I think in these regulation.
Oh, 100%. I'm all for it. For instance, all of my customers will know the exact commission that we're earning, and we need to justify what we're doing for that commission, you know. We want to healthily challenge customers to what are they doing on an energy journey. So I haven't set this consultancy up just to attract lots of customers, get them procurement deals, and then I see them every 12, 24, 36 months. I'm just not interested in that. I want long-term relationships. As I say, healthy challenge in terms of what are you doing with your energy, where are you going?
I think the industry, maybe, would you agree that the industry's gone into like a culture? It feels like it's been a culture of, and it's embedded within certain areas of the country, maybe.
Yeah, I think
particularly in the north, east.
Yeah. Well, I suppose the issue with the industry, you could set up an energy consultancy tomorrow through no validation process. Yeah. Oh, sorry, that's not necessarily true. Suppliers will put some form of validation against you to see if they'll set you up, because when at my time at the supplier, I had 30 requests a month of brokers wanting to be set up to be paid. So you do look at the background of what the consultancy are, and so there is some form of due diligence that suppliers will follow. But I guess there's no governing body that will vet you, Graham, for setting up next week your energy consultancy. I mean, is that fair? Can you just set one up out the blue without no experience and then go after customers and express that you're an energy expert? I don't think there's any transparency in that. No. But I don't know, somebody might challenge me on that and say, well, it could be entrepreneurial for setting up next week and see a gap within the market. But I guess transparency means a lot to me because of what I've been privy to, or
this is why
I've seen. You know,
this is why I like working with you, because of you've seen on the other side. You're completely aware of it. So consequently, that's the road you're going to take. Yeah, and
you have
so
to.
We have to be quite
definitely.
I know it sounds a bit maybe big-headed in a kind of sense, because people might think about that, but we're quite we pick who we want to work with.
Yeah,
we don't just say, oh yeah, we'll work with anybody who sends us a load of water bills. We do a bit of research.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I'm here speaking to you. I went through that validation process as well.
It's a great way of doing it, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got to. I mean, the reason why I wanted to do business with you, I suppose, is when our customer base, which we're starting to grow nicely now, we've got lots of customers that we can help with water. And so many people have thrown white labelled packages at me to say I can profess to be the water expert, and I'm not going to do that to our customer base. I'm going to be absolutely transparent and say I'm the energy expert, which we are. But water, which is a natural solution, there's so much synergies in the conversation with a customer to talk about water in helping them drive down costs in their business. So I want an expert, which is obviously you find self, Graham, dealing with those solutions for our customers, and I'll be absolutely transparent with them to say, look, we're using an expert as a partner. And I think that's the right way to go.
We've certainly got an ambitious business plan.
I have.
And I said to you when we first talked, because I said to you, it would be great to work with you and, be on the journey with you. Yeah. Starting a new business, that gives me quite a buzz, actually, to see you grow and expand. And it sounds a bit of a cheesy thing, and I said that to you on the phone, didn't I? But, I'll stand by it in 10 years' time. You know what I mean? To be a part of something, new and innovative, and so where are you going from here then? What's the strategy? Yeah,
so good question. So we've been growing our. I guess I've only been full time in the business 3-4 months now. So we've been working heavily on our sales strategy, the customer base that we feel will add most value to. But before we enforce that, we're doing a lot of. We're actually going for a rebrand at the moment. So we're redesigning our website at the minute, working a lot on literature and content. We're also doing a lot of educational videos within the market, which hopefully we should be posting soon. So a lot of stuff which I've never actually done before, in all honesty. I mentioned earlier, I class myself as an energy expert, but in terms of business and putting together literature, etc., this is pretty new to me, so I'm enjoying the journey, to be honest. So working with selected partners have creating, I think, an established brand, that means a lot to me. So I want a real tight brand that, you know, I'll feel proud of when I'm sitting down with corporate clients, because my skill set is in the £1 million plus spend of energy consumption, sustainability projects, driving down consumption. I'll keep, you know, singing about that, because I think customers need to be aware that things like, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent now, but things like non-commodity costs in the future, they're not getting any cheaper over the next 3 to 5 years, and customers have to find ways of mitigating increases. So yeah, we're going through the brand at the moment. Literature will be coming out soon, and then we'll start getting out in front of the larger customers that we want to knock down doors and challenge them healthily on what they're doing. See if we can add value, you know.
Well, you'll have a quite a ahead of the game type strategy with us on board, because water and wastewater and trade effluent are becoming more and more important to a lot of the clients out there, particularly the manufacturing and process side.
Yeah, exactly.
And we've got some new products and services that you know about in the new year with regards to procurement of water and wastewater retail contracts, which we'll make an announcement probably together, hopefully in January.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, and that will give us a huge commercial edge.
Yeah.
In the next 6 months, we're putting all that together. That's quite exciting times.
Very much so.
And so, do you have anything else you'd like to?
Yeah. Well, thank you. I guess for coming along. I know we've had many conversations, and this is the time we meet to discuss our strategy between ourselves. You know, we want to be transparent with the market.
So LinkedIn works then.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there is a place for LinkedIn. I am a fan of it.
Yeah. I saw your message come up, and you could see all these other messages. Oh, you want to speak to so and so? Want to speak to so and so? Want to speak to so and so? And it was almost like on a minute by minute basis, you know.
I must have had 30 DMs. Well, I guess that's what it's for. I asked for that, didn't I? So
it is. Yeah.
You know, if someone put on there, I need help with my energy, they're going to get the same amount of responses. I suppose that's what it's for. I asked for it, I got it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm here.
I'm going to be putting out a call shortly for innovation in the water industry. So I'll be looking to form strategic partners with suppliers, not on the energy side, but on the water side. Yeah. We're looking for innovative water-saving devices and products, services, and both at home and abroad. There's a lot going on in Europe, which isn't in the UK at the minute, so we want to draw European companies' technology into the UK, which will, again, there's European companies and those in the States that are looking to get into new markets, just looking for doors and stuff like that. So that's kind of where we're at that point at the minute, to encourage innovation. If we can't find it in the UK, then we'll find it in Europe and the States.
Lots going on with water though in the UK since the...
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Yeah, there's big shortages in London and some of the home counties. But one of the things that's disappointing me is that the regulators always seeking to drive down the costs per cubic metre to the customer, which effectively devalues it. Right. So if something's cheap, you tend to not take too much notice of it. You know, you increase the charge by 20-30%, both for water and wastewater out. You don't leave the tap stripping, you fix it. You don't leave the toilet flushing, you sort it out, because you know it's going to cost you a lot more money. That used to be like that in energy years ago, didn't it? Yeah. So a lot of the projects now in energy, you have to take the control away from the customer by don't rely on the customer or the client to turn the lights off.
Yeah, innovation's everything at the moment. Technology, we've got, you know, there's smarter ways of doing things. Yeah. So you've always got to be looking at the next steps. What's the next steps in terms of innovation, technology? Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you very much for being here. It's an absolute pleasure. I know we've got a meeting straight after this. So good luck with your new business, Dominic.
Thank you very much.
From Experience Energy Solutions. Thank you for coming.
Bye.
Cheers.